I served on the board of Maldev with Valerie Cantor, who is an extraordinary person, and after whom this award is named. And there are few people who I think I would put in this group of incredible achievement and dedication over such a long period of time as Antonia Hernandez.
She's an immigrant from Mexico. We talk about it an awful lot. She's so very close to her family.
She and her family sold tamales around central Los Angeles. They were an immigrant family, and a family that is very unified, very united, and who have all been very successful due to the hard work and guidance of their parents.
Well, I think one of the reasons why Antonia is such an articulate advocate is that she comes from the place of folks who are on the margins, folks who are kind of left out and not included normally. She remembers the days of the disparagement that was cultural and deep and pervasive.
She grew up and was raised with a dedication to community, with a dedication to family, and I think she then defined family beyond her immediate family, including her, of course, her husband and children, but she defined family to extend to the rest of the Latino community, and indeed the rest of the community of people in the United States who face discrimination and oppression.
I come to think of her as the happy warrior. She is no doubt totally committed to her work. She's persistent, and the fact that she's smiling and being so sparkling, you cannot underestimate how much she wants to get her job done.
Her leadership was one of the most dramatic leaderships that we've had in all of Maldev. I think that when the founders started Maldev, they were looking at the kind of leadership skills that Antonia brought. I think Antonia truly established that Maldev was certainly the legal arm of the Latino community in a very forceful and strong way. She was strong at every single level, particularly on reapportionment, standing up to politicians that sometimes didn't like the way Maldev was doing things, major corporations taking on those issues. So she has unbelievable credits to her as to how she motivated and inspired the lawyers, but more importantly, how she motivated so many of the funders to join with her in making Maldev the national litigator for the Latino community.
That long tenure means that Antonia was directly involved in a number of critical cases in all of our areas of endeavor, from education to immigrants' rights, to employment, to voting rights, to all of the important policy work in those areas and others accomplished in Washington and state capitals.
It's hard for me to tell exactly what drives her, but what I think drives Antonia is the knowledge that things can change in this country. She is someone smart enough and figured out that the way to change things is through the law.
I think that it's her set of beliefs. I think it's her sense of conviction of what is right and what is wrong, and what is fair and what is unfair. And I think it's also her deep faith and optimism about human nature.
The homies will talk about roll dogs, she's kind of the roll dog, and that means the person upon whom you can absolutely rely no matter what. And that's, for me, the highest thing you can say about somebody, that they're present to you with a kind of no matter whatness, Those are the kind of friends everybody longs for.
One of her great legacies is the acquisition of this building, which is a landmark historic building in Los Angeles. And the great courage to have made that financial commitment to acquire this building.
Well, I think that Antonia recognized an opportunity to ensure the financial stability of Maldev through the acquisition of this building over the long term. And I can certainly attest to the fact that on more than one occasion, the building really has provided that critical support of the financial well-being of the organization that is so important to its survival.
Nevertheless, it was a struggle. I mean, it was a real struggle to put together the funding to acquire this building and to pay the mortgage. Many people thought that it couldn't be done.
But I think by far one of her biggest achievements is wherever Antonia goes and talks about the work that needs to be done, she motivates and inspires, particularly young lawyers.
Well, I think that anyone who reviews Antonia's career would have to note that over 18 years leading a national civil rights organization is an extraordinary accomplishment. I can also say, on a personal note, having had the honor and privilege of serving as President and General Counsel for 2 years, I simply can't fathom how Antonia was able to do it for 18 years and do it with such grace, do it with such dedication, and do it with such an extraordinary record of accomplishment.
We all can remember the days of Cesar and, and people who kind of were right out in front there. And Antonia, all of us have high hopes for to kind of move into that place, where you can announce a new way of seeing community and imagining a place of kinship that's broader than what we currently have. And I trust her with my life, so I trust her with the vision to imagine something different. We're going to be needing her leadership for a long time to come.